Saharan dust has made a return to central Texas as we enter that time of year where it makes those frequent appearances. Chief Meteorologist Bannin is looking at the current plume and what to expect over these next coming weeks.
Yeah, so frequent rounds of it coming, but with a lot of low clouds and rain the last few days, it's not been worth talking about because you probably wouldn't have noticed it yet.
Yeah.
But we've got more sun on the way, so I think you're going to start to notice the haze in the air. So this is the current look at the light coating of Saharan dust that we have over central Texas and much of the southern part of the state. There's actually a thicker plume that's over Florida and Cuba now that'll be trying to move into central Texas again as we head into the weekend, but it will probably thin out a little bit more by the time it gets here. But there's going to be more opportunities for Saharan dust over the coming weeks and next couple of months. The dust should thin out a little bit more by the time we get into early next week. So what is Saharan dust and where does it come from and when does it typically affect us? Well, basically it's a mass of dry and dusty air that blows off of the Saharan desert, crosses the Atlantic Ocean, and then arrives here in central Texas from time to time. We typically see this peaking from late June through mid-August, so it's a tad early, but we're not at the peak yet. That's why the haze in the air is not super thick, but we'll see it getting thicker over the course of the coming weeks and staying with us through the middle of August from time to time. Typical plumes arrive every 3 to 5 days or so. They're usually about 2 to 2.5 miles thick, but they're usually at least a mile above the surface, although some of that dust does make it down to the ground. And as a result, it can reduce air quality and make it rather hazy. But it can bring some benefits too, including rather vibrant sunrises and sunsets. And it does help to suppress tropical activity over the Atlantic. That could be considered a good thing and a bad thing. Of course, we need the tropics for some extra rain here this summer, we hope, but there's certainly a danger that comes with tropical development as well. Now, our meteorologist Tommy House put together a blog all about the arrival of the Saharan dust that has been sweeping here off the Gulf Coast and into central Texas over the last couple days, and will be with us on and off much of the next couple of months. That's on KXAN.com. Click on the Weather and Traffic tab and then the Weather blog section. It is not too hazy outside right now. That current plume of Saharan dust is a rather light one. We're at 89, as you can see here in Austin from our West Shore home camera, looking from West Campus toward downtown. We do have some building cumulus clouds out there, so far not creating a whole lot of wet weather, at least here in our 15 counties, but there are storms and downpours, especially east of us, and it's still possible that over the next couple of hours we could see some spotty showers or isolated storms developing here through about the middle of the evening. As we head through the overnight hours, though, low clouds will start to make a return, and that's going to make for another reasonably cloudy start to your day tomorrow. Overnight lows of 75. Tomorrow, those clouds in the morning will give way to a lot of sunshine, and this will be sort of the pattern for the next 3 or 4 days. There is going to be a tiny less than 10% rain chance for our eastern counties here tomorrow. We'll go with a high of 94. Heat becomes the big story over the coming days as we lose our opportunities for rain, at least for a little while. We'll go from 94 Thursday to 96 Friday, 98 Saturday, and triple digits here on Sunday. So Sunday looks to be the peak of the heat as high pressure builds in, and then as it starts to break down, we'll see those temperatures coming down into early next week, and at the same time we'll see some rain chances returning to the area too. If you're thinking it's going to be a dry heat, think again. We're basically going to be stuck in this very humid air mass through the weekend. Dew points generally between 70 and 75, although a slight drop perhaps below the dew point of 70 into the more humid category during some of our afternoons, but still it's pretty humid stuff, and as those air temperatures approach 100, it's going to feel like widespread triple digits even if your air temperature happens to stay in the 90s. But we do have some rain chances coming. Those chances are minimal this evening, but they start to build as we wrap up the weekend and head into early next week. So we're not done with rounds of wet weather, storms, downpours, severe weather potential, and flash flooding. Our next decent chance of rain and storms comes as we get into Monday and Monday evening. Those rain chances right now at 30%. Higher rain and storm coverage expected on Tuesday, which does for now offer the highest chance of rain over the next week. And then as we get into next Wednesday, still some decent rain and storm chances. And in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if every day of the next work week has rain chances, even beyond our 7-day into next Thursday and Friday. For now, our 7-day forecast doesn't go that deep into next week, but here's a look at our first warning weather 7-day forecast then, with morning clouds and afternoon sun Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. 94 Thursday, 96 Friday, 98 Saturday, and with even more sunshine, fewer clouds around on Sunday, and high pressure in control. We think that's our best chance of reaching triple digits. And then as the rain chances go up early next week, the temperatures go down.